Okay, Mr. Speaker. Last night, Monday night, the first day of the session, the cigarette tax was, I think, considered by some a cornerstone of how we hope to shore up the budget, and it didn't make it out of its first committee. And so, is that a telltale sign, or how do you feel? Well, first, let's just talk about that bill. How do you feel about that?
Well, all these bills that we have being proposed in revenue enhancements are very tough bills for our members to vote for, and unfortunately last night we couldn't get a do pass on that bill. But if you recall, we recessed. So we're going to talk to some of those folks and see if they might reconsider, you know, um, their vote, because it is, the cigarette tax, the $33 million that brings in is a cornerstone of what potentially could be a budget fix, so that we can get a budget that doesn't cut education and healthcare in a significant manner. If we don't get that bill passed, then our appropriations committee has no other chance or um, potential way of putting that bill in place without cutting additional, um, make additional cuts to the budget.
And
Um,
so, is it, I guess, accurate to say that you're going to try again on the cigarette tax?
we're going to talk to our members, and we haven't given up on it.
Okay. And I guess, if moving forward, I guess there comes a time you guys have budgeted for 3 days here. How long do we keep trying on things like the cigarette tax before we don't see, or until we find a consensus to move forward? I guess, is there a deadline within the leadership here to
Well,
stop trying?
we have today and tomorrow, and I think that we have a deadline that we put on ourselves, and we're going to try to do whatever we can to get out of here with a budget. And it's might take some long hours that we have to spend here, but we're dedicated to doing that. Um, we've got to find the revenue streams to then match our expenditure level. But some bills in the Senate, I understand that they're trying to work also, some different options, and but the cigarette tax definitely is one of the uh, cornerstones that needs to get done so that we can proceed and show that we are interested in trying to resolve this issue.
Drawing upon your experience, and you've been through a lot of sessions and so forth, in your heart of hearts, do you think that we're going to leave here the special session with a budget?
I'm very hopeful, Larry. I just don't feel that the general public out there is willing to just have us come in and not being able to address a budget. It's critical. Schools have to start addressing their budgets for next year, and it's critical that we give them some kind of a opportunity to know exactly what it is that they're going to have, and then they have to adjust accordingly. But if we don't give them anything, then potentially they can't start working on next year's budget.
Okay. And that leads to the next question. In your mind, chances of another special session?
Well, I don't even want to go there. I hope we don't get to that because we don't want to come in here and just being for the sake of costing taxpayers while we're here and not accomplishing anything. An additional a special session. I don't know that the governor, when he would be willing to call one. We have elections coming up. A lot of the members are concerned about that, but yet, we have to take the bull by the horns and I think pass the budget, and that's what I'm striving for, and I'll push hard on that.
The general public from the outside looking in, I ask this of a lot of legislators. What do you want what do you want the general public to know about a lot of the work that's going on here? I think that maybe they don't know all the work that all legislators are putting in to try to find something here. What do you want them to know about that?
Well, we are meeting in caucuses. It is behind closed doors, but it is the reason that we're behind closed doors. We have 45 members in the House, Democrats, and in order to try to reach consensus, I don't see how we might be able to reach any consensus in the open. It's hard enough, even behind closed doors. But our only intention is to try to do what's in the best interest of our citizens.